Hello!
Oh,
I
hello.
am so tired right now. Stayed up till 3 in the morning. Everything's killing me. And then, I messaged Nocty at 3 in the morning, and she was awake too for whatever reason. You were reading Hunter x Hunter, right?
Wasn't really awake. I got caught up in some stuff.
I was like, why did she message me back? So today is the Black Survival Battle Series tournament finals. We have some of the best players from our 4 brackets playing right now. All of them pretty much Dragon. I'm getting a lot of feedback from your mic.
I'm not doing anything. Oh my god. Is this better?
Seems like it.
Alright.
Uh, did I even adjust your volume correctly? I don't even know. So we're a little bit delayed because of Simon has his what's it called? His data resets at noon. So he's said it'll be 5 to 10 minutes. So you guys are kind of stuck with us for the time being. Hey, Fartier. Hi,
Oh, we
Clay.
got good returns today.
Your parents are going to show
What are
up
we
today?
doing? No.
Didn't they say they were going to show up last time?
It said that, but I don't think they actually paid attention, so I actually got lucky on that. On
Nice.
that end.
It's okay. They'll just embarrass you later.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Anyway.
Alright, Keynes is coming this time. He was mentioning that he wanted to drop out, so.
He's probably subbing.
Anyway. We will be seeing a few. You have anyone from top 100 to?
Oh, someone just left. Let me go double check what's going on there.
All right, I guess I'll start talking a little bit about the players if I can. So I don't know some of them, I haven't seen YB1 before, but so Gimme Nick too is the 2 people that I'm not too familiar with. But so Syrian, I'll just go down the list from what I'm seeing. Okay. So Syrian is a longtime player. She's been around for a few seasons. She has hit Dragon 1 in multiple seasons, and she doesn't play as much now, but I'm sure you guys have seen her here and there in PVs and stuff, and she's always playing fairly well. She's very consistent. She knows multiple masteries, and she does fairly well on all of them. Just yeah. So Sain, I think a few of you guys have knows him too. Sain is famous for always bringing bread seeking. I don't know why, but so he often brings bread seeking. He's known to be a very aggressive player. So we'll probably be seeing him running high mastery in a fairly high risk, high reward way. Sain mains throw and previously bow, and he's known for very unorthodox choices.
Like running bread seeking?
I already talked about that, but I mean builds, you know, like high explosives and stuff like that, where they're not really bad, but they're not very common either. So Sain has hit Dragon 1 multiple seasons. He's been around, I lose track of the seasons, but at least 3 or 4, here and there. He is a very strong player. I think he's pretty decent in all masteries, but he mostly plays throw, and today most likely that's what we'll be seeing too. Flo, I have seen him less. I know he has hit Dragon, and he took a long break in a few of the seasons, but otherwise I remember him being very fierce in PVs and stuff, so I know he used to play a lot of blunt, but I think he kind of spread out from there, and we'll kind of see what he's up to this time. So Zera is Dragon 1, and I believe past that in the seasons where they played seriously. They are a stab main, so we'll probably be seeing that. They were the winner of 1 or 2 of the I don't remember, but I know they won at least 1 BSBS tournament, so they are a very strong competitor. Sometimes you see them in PVs as well. And yeah, so we'll probably be seeing a strong performance from them. They're kind of, in general, if you know players who play only one mastery who are at this high level, they tend to be very flexible. So we might be seeing some unorthodox start, even though they play the same mastery every time. Cairns has hit top 100 in the same season I did, actually. So he is a very strong player, though he recently has not played so much. But he has kept up in general most of the seasons. He is a very strong powerhouse. We will see what kind. He's recently playing. He plays multiple masteries. He used to be a very strong hand player, but he is fairly strong in the armor rushing section. So we will be seeing how his game plays out. Miro or Jackid is a Jackie main, as known by his name. He is, as you know, I think he has, since Jackie became 3 mastery, he will branch out from the used to be, but he is main in Blade for sure. He is also kind of known for kind of like playing around, messing around with like, you know, the orthodox playing style. He is a very aggressive player style, and his play style is very centered in animal farming, and we will see if that kind of pays off for him this time. Simon or
well, all the players are ready. Do you want to talk about their character choices real quick?
Okay, well, we have. Well, I'm gonna go through the last 2 just real quick. Simon is a bold player. We know. Dragon 1, multiple seasons. He's actually going for top 100 right now, and he's almost there. I think he's like top 105 or something. And then you have GameSun, who is currently top 100, and I think he plays a lot of different masteries, as we can tell from so far his game choices, and he is definitely a very strong contender, being, I think he's like top 46 right now or something. So anybody right now in top 100 is pretty fierce.
I know it's irrelevant right now, but I'm catching up to top 100 really quickly by spamming 11, and I'm really surprised that there's not a single 11 in this
11.
hobby.
I hate 11.
11 is so busted.
I hate fucking 11. Oh, whatever. Anyway, whatever. I did hit top 100 though.
So. Do you have any bets on who you think will be favored?
My bets are people who were top 100 at some point. So GameSun, I think. Cairns, I definitely think that everybody has a I think everybody has a really good chance, and it really just depends on how the game plays out. But if I had to like make a bet on like 1 or 2 people,
you can choose one, because I'm going to choose someone else.
Oh, you're making this hard.
Of course, I have to make it hard for you.
From a consistency point of view, I'm going to say GameSun. I'm
going to say Xerax, just because he's running the counterattack green, like I told him to.
I think like if I were to pick multiple people, I'd be able to pick much better, but I think like just out of consistency, I would have to pick the person I see that's the most consistent.
Alright.
Like in general, I mean, GameSun's running actually Nathapon with counter green, so I'm gonna guess that's gonna be a hand Nathapon.
Watch him go gun just to surprise you. Anyway, let's get this started. My god, they talk too much.
They just wanted to be everybody's friends.
I know.
Okay, anyway, so we're gonna start off. I don't think anybody will bring anything, just because like people kind of knows it, but let's check everybody anyway.
It's not one of those things where you have to do it.
괜찮겠어?
Alright, seems like it. Yep.
Oh,
actually,
Bone
maybe
Crushers?
one interesting.
That's like super greedy.
With Sasela, well, to be fair, Sasela is rarely fought with in the first round, so that gives her a very big, you know.
Well, the reason why I call it out for being greedy is because there's another throw in the lobby, and specifically with Emma, right? Emma has arguably the best Bone Crusher start, because it's so safe on her.
Despite that, though, Emma did not, in fact, go for Bone Crushers. So we are is that we're actually seeing, I think, a boomerang Emma this game, which is funny because usually you see a Sasella with the boomerang and the Emma with the bone crushers.
I've been
They're
playing.
with a really fast 4 steal.
I've been playing so much Boomerang Sasella. It's just really nice.
I hate. If I had to pick the 2 things right now, I just hate to see in ranked. It's Boomerang Sasella and 11. It just pisses me off, and they're so common too.
It's because it's good. That's why it's common.
I know. It's so annoying. But yeah,
I actually was
well.
like, shouldn't Karen's go to beach? And he does exactly that.
Yeah, I would go to beach too if I got interrupted in factory. But
Well, because it's like you already got the leather.
It's a little dangerous because he has no plan for his helmet, and I know that you can like make it later, but it's just
Well, it's 2 minutes into the first round. His build's actually like going on pretty
his build
steadily.
is very good for the first round, but
Yeah.
this kind of build tend to have you run into a danger where you just don't know what to make for a helmet, and we'll see if that happens. Anyway,
I think like 90% of my games, I end up like giving up on like 1 or 2 armor pieces, and I'm just sitting here crying.
Yeah, that's
3
that's
tunas.
a big problem. 3 tunas, but no armor. This is kind of dangerous, but he actually ran out of food. I think he was fighting somebody really hard. Sierran.
Yeah, Sia's only C mastery though, so It's kind of one of those things where I think Sia
high damage. It was a high damage trade because neither of them had armor, I believe.
Yeah.
YB1 with actually only 3 batteries, so he's not going fast enough for his build, I think. Cyan
The
is
white powder.
not I think that is I know they changed the recipes. I believe this may be rubidium marble.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Ruthenium Marble uses white powder now, but it's also kind of hard to tell if he wants to go for the accessory or not. Because I've been seeing a lot of people do that.
I have my doubt on the accessory because of what he has currently, but I'm not sure either. So Mir or Jackie with a very quick mono and first dog, which is very good for him. I noticed that it is the first round. So you have the game plan, I think, who try to get the second dog, the hunting dog. So seems like nobody's in danger of dying just yet.
I mean, like, this was...
Nick with the starting up-down.
This is actually kind of very typical of a higher level lobby. People tend to not die as early. Unless, like, they get really unlucky.
Yeah, though. Sia got the 2 double. Just kidding, Sia's not gonna die anytime soon.
Nah, she's fine.
Yeah. Actually, I want to say I think Zeranx has the highest armor right now.
Interestingly enough, the one character who has the safest early game is very likely to die here.
Yeah, everybody rushed blue weapon. This kind it's like, and also because this is the problem with Bone Crusher is that if you don't get your batteries fast enough, you are in a really bad spot.
Died.
Oh, he actually died.
Did he get double
Who
hit?
did he die to? I think he got double hit. I think Miro. Yeah, Miro hit him.
Miro and Y-Bone hit him.
Yeah,
oh, not Y-Bone. That is Y-Bone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Miro's blood testing right now.
YB1 got hit by a stab and then a blade character, and I think Miro with the fast mono ended it real quick.
I mean, it's kind of a shame that YB1 went for such a risky strategy and it just didn't pay off.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we all knew that how risky it is. So it's one of those things. So Zerak's doing really well for himself. I see that Sia has eaten both of his tunas already. Her tunas, sorry.
Yeah, her tunas.
And her armor is not looking very complete either. It's a boy who actually died. Can we check on that?
Who died?
Flo.
Died with ramen.
I think just recently, maybe. Okay, Sia.
That Sia took the ramen. Okay.
I'm sure she took the ramen. This is kind of a problem for Sia, is that she has to now pick between making food and making armor. And if you run into that situation early game, you're basically just running behind. On the other hand, you see Zera almost finishing his boots and fighting GameSun with about the same damage. I'm gonna assume GameSun has fairly good armor as well. Yep.
GameSun decided to run.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight there either with 4 Oriental herbs, to be fair.
That's a lot of
Simon
food
taking a
early.
lot of food, and
Yeah.
actually Simon is almost done with his armor, which is very impressive. Good job, Simon. So 6 minutes. So see, you see Karen's issue. He just kind of gave up on one piece of armor. But
클라이막스를 장식해볼까요?
how many people are going for bear and gorilla? Simon. So 5 people are at the bear gorilla areas, and I think
And you still
it might
got
go to
one
Simon.
hot ramen up.
Yeah.
That's very strong.
Yeah, so this is a very common strategy to leave 1 ramen in your inventory.
도망가고 싶네요.
자,
Give me Nick finishing his armor
But no food though.
fairly quickly, but no food.
Gets
Yeah.
too contested at this stage of the game, could easily get knocked out. But I mean, with Scout, it's pretty safe.
Right, and so yeah, so Karen's. I
Karen-
think Miro, Simon, and can we check on GameSun? I wasn't sure how GameSun's doing. So okay, so I would say that Miro and Simon is doing currently the best. Zera is doing alright as well.
I mean, GameSun is
Oh.
really safe right now because of Nathapon's ability.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's dying. To be fair, like I know he's got.
Unless he gets sniped right now.
Watch it get sniped, and like I have to eat my words super hard. But then it's just gonna be the luck of the game. So like,
Yeah.
really, I wouldn't be too upset.
That's just
about
how it
it.
goes.
So
흔적들이 남아있.
okay, so Simon. Yeah, so this is a very strong game.
Went
But
for
I
a stab
do-
counter.
Huh?
Went for a stab counter. This game was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero respect for Miro, I see.
도망가고 싶네요.
Well, to be fair, Zero is very strong. So this is one of those games where it's really hard to pick the helmet because you really don't know. I guess there's 2 stab and 1 blade is the reason he went for the stab helmet.
이런
Yeah, it's definitely a hard call.
I think Karen's is going for that helmet.
Yeah, but trying to. What's it called? It's not. The one with Tree of Life.
Laurel Reef.
Lower Wraith, yeah.
It's gonna be
It's,
tough.
I'm pretty sure Karen's is just getting blocked here. Trying to get
Mhm.
Cemetery, and like everyone wants Cemetery right now. Because like a lot of people were just sitting on Close Helm for a while.
괜찮겠어?
Yeah, and I think GameSun
And even
may have
GameSun
the
wants
same
it.
plan. I think GameSun may have the same plan. I
Yeah.
don't know. So Mal, I think actually Simon is going to have the. How many Crusaders do we see this game?
This is going to be
당신의
This is
a
gonna be 1.
yeah.
흔적도
What is
없이
this? A
장식에 해주겠네.
9-minute full build?
Yes, and give or take. But his build was so good at 6 minutes. I think it hardly matters.
It was basically
A lot
200
of them
armor.
might be-
So was
yeah.
Zerix.
There I see is going for the
클라이막스를
non-existent.
장식해볼까요?
Hey, look, a
Doctor
Crimson
Tuna.
Flower.
I do want to mention though, like having Tuna get out so early in the game by Sia, it could potentially affect the game because everybody usually goes for Tuna at some point in the game, and they waste a lot of time there because nobody really expects to see 0 Tuna.
엄청난 쇼를
Yeah, usually don't expect somebody who start docks to take all 3 of them.
Yeah.
It can happen,
Yeah.
but it's like it's one of those things where it's hard to identify when it happens.
Yeah.
자,
You can't really expect it. You just have to take the time out to do it. Okay, so games are not doing
Oh.
super hot.
Someone's getting contested by GameSun.
괜찮겠어?
GameSun has to leave immediately, so
Yeah.
it looks like a pretty free wick line unless some noise is made. I'm gonna keep the camera on here in case anyone. Oh, he got it.
Big Line got it. So
Perhaps
did
that's an
not
interesting choice.
In this case, with his inventory, I think I would have. Okay, so he.
Okay,
is
so he just ended up just getting hit anyway. Ended up grabbing
Yeah.
the safe choice. That's totally fair. Oh, got a kill.
Sayin, on Sayin, who was
Sayin
kind
was-
of struggling the whole
yeah.
game. To be fair,
Carrying a soy
what
sauce.
did he take? Oh, he took the accessory.
아직이야.
Very reasonable choice there.
No, he
I
took the
think-
soy sauce. He already had the accessory.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
never mind. I would have taken the accessory because I would have forgotten that I had an accessory. But
But that's just you. You
yeah,
see,
so
this
Sienna
person is
came back.
clearly really good at this video game.
Yeah, I just forgetting my build is a daily consistent thing.
It's
So
like
Simon's controlling the animals though.
Simon should be able to stay very consistently. Should be. Oh, that was an interesting visual glitch.
Yeah.
자,
So,
I'm actually kind of
Um,
curious if the Camilla is going to have to eat the Crimson Flower early.
I think he will. I don't think he's gonna be able to. Okay, so Karen has managed to make his Laurel Wreath. He is full build. Very low food, but I see he has control over the bird.
Karen actually says this a lot, where like a lot of the games he ends up winning because he is controlling birds.
He said that ever since bird system came out. So I see he has kept to his planning. So doing a good job there.
I mean, to be fair, Karen's was controlling birds back when Jan was released.
Exactly.
Because
Like I said, when
what
the
he would
birds-
do is he would hit the bird while having the field skill up in order to get some free stacks.
Right. So I think this is a really good choice because I already noticed that so Mira's out of healing actually. I think he's not. I don't think Mira's going to last too long at this time.
Mira
Sia
went-
has not
decided to
managed
stay.
find her.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Sorry. So I actually already
Died to
Sia
Xerax.
died to Xerax. I think with some healing. Barely much food though. Oh, so do they do similar damage?
Yeah, see, this is like one of the really good things about counterattack, right? He was able to drop an item and grab the food and then immediately put up counterattack so that he doesn't get double hit upon leaving.
By the way, I still get hit.
It really just depends on your ping difference. Like, if it's
Yeah.
really bad, they're going to hit you anyway.
멈추는 법을
Yeah, so it's very good for coming back from a fight where you know you're gonna get hit that one extra time despite you know not really wanting to. Oh, I see he has chose
Oh,
sheet metal version.
okay.
Not a bad choice, but
Spicy.
I do think that
Did manage to keep the Crimson Flower.
yeah he did.
Yeah.
Game Sound is actually dying real fast,
얼른
real hard too. So
있는 곳으로 떠나볼까?
Gameson did not manage to get his armor up this game, and you can kind of tell from his inventory that he's now running into trouble with seeing too many players.
I hope I still win my bet.
Who is your bet? Oh, Miro, right?
No, Xerax.
No, Xerax.
Oh, there goes Game
Oh,
Sign.
there goes Gameson.
I haven't won
giving
the bet yet.
away the weapon. So there goes my bet. I think Xerax has a good chance. I think Karen's is also he has came back, and he's gonna be real scary if he managed to get those oil. But he may also die here, so who knows? He has
Really
no
just depends
healing
on whether or not
inventory.
Cairns gets sniped here. If Cairns gets sniped here, like, there's a lot of food on this corpse.
Mhm.
It's going to be really interesting to see if anyone picks this up or if Cairns is able to survive.
Yeah, so Xerax, I mean, sorry, not Xerax. Karen's is currently at his weakest.
자,
I do notice that Xerax has
Oh.
stolen. Oh, so it was Tachyon Blade. He ended up going for the Tachyon Blade in the end. What was I saying? So Karen is not in a good situation. You see that his HP is low and he has no food.
Now he has
He
food.
now has
Yeah, he's
food.
safe now.
So he is going to be very safe now because he will now be able to continue making food without worry.
Oh.
Oh, so Miro dying.
That's going to be another Crimson Flower. Oh,
To-
decided to grab the helmet first. That's fair. But he's definitely going to stay. He's not going to stay for the Powder of Life.
I mean, it is fair if he can find. Okay, so well, he's not going to find the bear because the bear was taken by Simon, I think.
자,
And he's not even going back to Lighthouse. I think he's trying to solve his stamina issue right now.
I think that is fair. Simon actually holding that battle suit. We will see if it pays out for him. Stealing the bird though, that is going to be a.
That's going to be a big
hit
deal
on
against
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Karen was looking for it.
Yeah, it's just unlucky that he didn't find it. So
Yeah,
I think did Simon leave? No. So I think at this point Karen is cued into the fact that Simon probably stole the bird.
but he'll also have a good idea of when it died too, so he's going to be back on it upon respawn.
Karen's is fast. Is he the highest?
He actually
master? He is
switched
the
to
highest
Battle
master.
Suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he noticed that. I think that's fair because
자,
there is no more hand in the game. He made it, I
힘이
think,
빠질 때도 됐는데.
with I don't think he made it with the expectation that Game Time was going to be an issue, but he definitely kept it for a while, but then Gamsun died, so that helped. So right now Simon actually counters every single player in the lobby with his armor.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, except for like the boots counter, but this is basically the same thing.
He has no food though.
Yeah, this
I
lobby
know
is running really low on food.
Not really. Okay. Yes, on a few players, but
Yeah.
so Gimme and Nick is actually looking like he's like doing fairly well, because
도망가고 싶.
in a lobby where you're so strapped for food, having his damage is actually higher than Cairns, despite being one mastery tier lower.
Yeah, orange items do that for you.
Right,
I mean, holy
and it
blood
saves
items,
you
I should say.
healing. It saves you healing that way, and I think that's the core part, is that he doesn't need as much healing to be doing the same damage.
I mean, like, Eva's
So-
doing well on food too, but not nearly as well as Camillo. And Camillo's actually going to scale harder with the way
Right.
this is going to go. Especially once he hits S. There's not
Right.
much Cairns can do in order to outscale Camillo at this
Yeah,
point.
he uses scale and kill himself, that could work too. He uses scale when he's SS. Anyway. So Gim and Nick has now become the highest damage in the lobby. And Xerix actually picked the wrong helmet. So that may be a problem for him.
도망가고 싶네요. 마음에
Xerix deciding to respect Miro over here, though.
Yeah, mad respect for Miro. Also, damage has become same across the board. And it has came down to just healing. I don't think Simon does have healing, my bad. This is interesting.
It's not
I
last
don't
3
know.
areas yet, but it's getting really close.
One thing to note is that everybody has been taking a lot of oil.
Everyone has a Crimson Flower. I think what's probably going to end up happening is the player who ends up fighting the least in final 3 areas is going to win.
Right.
So
I think
this
so too.
this is going to be very much a coin flip for these players.
This is going to be okay. So I'm gonna analyze a little bit before we get in there. So in a regular ranked game, you will have players who cannot beat you, who will fight you in the third area, because they know if they move, they're gonna get bounced around. I don't know if any of the current players in this lobby are those kind of players, but I think those kind of players are gonna be the one that kind of decides the game. And I don't know where Simon got it, but he got some sweet potatoes going on there.
I don't think Xerix is favored. Looks like my bet was wrong.
I think Cairns or Nick.
이런 모습은
Oh.
보여주고
Using
I had to use the
Crimson
Crimson Flower early. That's not what you want to see.
It's understandable, but
We're in final 3 areas, and all the players are pretty much bouncing around.
actually, yeah. So Camilla winning that bounce.
Camillo's
Camilla
chasing.
moving.
Yeah,
Camilla
that's
moving
why
to
they're bouncing around.
Yeah,
That's a-
good choice.
I don't know how you would identify that though, because that's not an inventory full of a lot of food.
I think it's just aggressive.
Yeah, maybe.
I think one reason, though, okay, so Xerix has died, but one reason I think is that everybody was running from him in 7 areas.
That's fair.
So I think he took a guess to say that nobody had a lot of food. So Karen's with 1 food, Simon with no food.
I mean, both of them are grabbing Bear Gorilla right now. We'll see if Gorilla gives Simon anything good. Doesn't look like it.
Give me a Nick doing 100 damage to Karen though.
Ooh.
Oh,
How to use
okay,
the
so
Crimson Flower. This is
actually,
exactly
no,
what I was
because-
talking
yeah.
about.
Simon and him are in the exact same position.
It depends on what Bear drops.
What does the bear?
Bear
okay.
did not drop anything good.
Oh boy, that's bad for him. He took an
Yeah.
extra hit. Run. Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those things
yeah.
where the Camillo fought too hard.
No, actually, in the final area, Simon got the first hit,
Yeah.
even though Camilla was in the area.
It was one of those things where Camillo, because people were running from him, right?
Yeah.
Camillo had the option to just not fight, right?
Mhm.
And if Camillo decided to not fight, he could have easily won.
Yeah, I think also Karen's in the end did a final stand and took him down with him. Because they were trading 80 damage.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting game. Good
But
job,
they did a
Simon.
final stand for a corpse.
Huh?
They were doing it for a corpse.
For Xerxes' corpse?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, being honest though, if it was me, I wouldn't have fought there.
Yeah,
but,
I would not have fought either.
So I do think that there was some overconfidence from Giminic when it dropped down to 3 players. I do think that in a 4-player situation, you could afford to kind of chase people around a little bit.
I like how people are calling it roaching. That was not roaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Simon was not roaching. You can't call someone who is SS a roach.
No, don't call people roach like that. Simon played very well in the final areas with what he had. I do think the final, like, this wouldn't have been so close had
Camilo had to stay in one area, and he would have been fine.
Right, but I think that the final, it really came down to the fact that when they went into the final area, for some reason, Simon got the first hit.
Simon got the first hit because he was busy looking at
The body, right?
at bear body,
Bear,
and then
yeah,
he was
so I
trying to
think
grab. Yeah.
That was the unfortunate part, was that he was looking at the bear's body. Because he was in the area, he had the advantage there for the hit. So, very unfortunate, but I think both of those players got a lot of points from that match, so really the difference is minimal. I have not been keeping an eye on the chat, but... Right, so we kind of see it in this game, that a lot of the players, their armor wasn't necessarily all good, but they stuck in the... Oh, wow.
I knew that was going to get your attention.
Okay, anyway, so a lot of the players really, they stick in the game very well. And you see that once they get into the late game, most of their healing really came down to, like, I don't want to say luck, but they didn't come from just picking stuff up off the floor. A lot of them were from animals. I think there was so much oil food at the last few areas because there's just not enough other type of food in the game. So we are going to be seeing a interesting lobby here.
To answer
I'm not going to say anything yet, though.
To answer Sardine's question, how do games have so little armor? In a high-level lobby, a lot of rushing your armor out is how not contested you are early. And in a very aggressive lobby, and when you get higher, it's very hard. People are moving around a lot. Like, people do not stay in areas as much as people do in lower-level lobbies.
Okay, anyway.
So you're excited? Okay, we're going to talk about this. I see your husband, though. I see 2 people playing your husband, though.
I'm very happy about this. I don't know why they picked to play Alex in this. Okay, actually, I know why they picked Alex on this. It's because Alex is one of the best players as far as surviving goes. I see that in the chat somebody has mentioned it already, that dude, Alex makes me happy, and it's true. So Alex is a very good character for 2 situations. If you are really behind and you need to stay alive, or if you're really ahead and you really need to kill somebody. So I think he's a good choice in a high lobby, but yeah. Oh, brought supplies. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so anyway, in a lobby like this, they can pick their mastery based on who is in there, which is important. And Alex can potentially start anywhere, even if they get a bad start in one area. Like, you could hit somebody and decide to leave, and you can switch to a different mastery. So that gives him a lot of flexibility. He is not a very easy person to play.
The hardest part is just his damage.
His problem is that not just his damage, but he doesn't have anything to help him get ahead or win a fight. Unless you throw your weapon, but that's a different problem if you're like contesting bear and just throw your weapon. Because nobody ever leaves if you throw the weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a glitch. Really?
Okay, I have to restart the lobby then.
Alright. So anyway, no, you'd be surprised, but Alston, but anyway.
Okay, so
From what I remember of the lobby, there was 2 stabs. So Simon may go like gun Jenny. which I wouldn't be surprised to see. You're gonna use. I think I saw at least one stab, one blade. I think 2 blades actually. There was Shukai. What the Alexes may pick the most common mastery, so you got that going for them. Or they may pick a mastery with nobody in it to get a smooth start. No, Alex is actually like the worst character for bullying. Like he has a really shitty stamina bar and he has no good skill to aid him in like particular ways. Like if you're really bullying a really low lobby, you want a character who really like capitalizes on that, which means you're gonna see like Jackie and stuff, not Alex. Actually, I was losing a lot of my lower ranked games because I couldn't keep up with the snowballing because Alex compared to a different character.
Alex tends, I mean, in my personal experience, he tends to do a lot better in lobbies that are closer.
Right, he does. Alex is a strong pick for high lobbies, not low lobbies. In low lobbies, you want like Jackie, 11, Eva,
Rotzi
people like
even.
that.
It's the reason why a lot of low-level players just like seem to think that Rotzi's very powerful, but it's just like once you start playing against better players, her advantages just start going away.
Right. Actually, low lobbies and high lobbies has very different metas, and most top 100s, they tend to have to learn to play in both styles. It's very different.
Yeah.
How you play in the two, and they don't really like interchange either. All right. So
Are we ready to get
I
this
think
started?
everybody is ready. Actually, let me see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 stab blades, and in general, Alex tend to go stab blade. So we're gonna see how that goes. So we have 1 ball, which means Simon may get a smooth start again, and we have 1 blunt. And being 11, that is a risky character to leave alone. So all right, I think that kind of goes for the.
I think I keep wanting to call Arda Simon, but I think Arda and 11 are favored in this lobby particularly.
Right. I think so as well. I think Ava. I mean, Ava's favored in every lobby because she doesn't really care.
I mean, that's Eva for you. Oh, she's starting Blade. Oh, Blunt? I mean, what? Blade start, excuse me. I say Blade start, but I mean, like...
It's Ava, it's all throw. So I did mention that Simon may be going gun. So yeah, with the hand. And Simon getting the 3-star. And GameSun is going to be hand blade. And I think he had already gotten the Cross of Golgotha, so this man is going fast.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Saints Relic.
He got... What? 30 seconds and he's like already out. Freaking. Okay,
that's a really fast chapel start.
Right. He's not gonna have a helmet though.
I think it's fine to leave at that point though.
He is. I would leave with 2 sets, but I think he will not have a helmet, so he will have to figure that out. Cairns, I think, did the same start last time, right? I didn't know where he started. I didn't look at where he started, but I think this is the similar start.
He started Temple.
It's a little outdated because not because it's like bad, but like.
But because it's bad. I see you're already roasting Cairns.
No, it's not a bad start, but then ever since the sheet metal nerf, all the steel starts got screwed over fairly badly. So that's the main problem. And also in a game where you have a chapel starter, that problem is that a golden gun that I'm about to see? I'm not sure on the recipe.
Oh, Cyan is the one that does the weird stuff.
I know that he does the weird stuff, but is that really gonna be a golden gun?
It's gonna be a golden gun with bread seeking.
Oh my god.
Cyan just out here to entertain the masses.
A terror in the first round, and we'll see if that keeps up.
The people's champion.
The people's champion indeed. Right, so I didn't mention that in my Luke video that I did play Bishops. I did play, but I think my route was a little different from GameSun's version. Not that it matters. So GameSun did make the fabric armor, and I think he actually had the same exact start as me. Where he moved to archery range for his armor, and GameSun armor is gonna come along real fast this game. Golden Gun live up has been made.
This guy in
I
bread
don't know.
seeking.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. I hope he does really well though. It'll be really fun. Can we look at? I haven't been looking at the other characters, but how are they doing with the armor? So
Everyone's armor is
might
like
be
really
hot.
low compared to last
빨리 끝내고
last game.
Trans and Flo doing really well. Xyrus is actually past 130 armor.
Yeah.
And Mao with 150.
I mean, this was exactly why I said that Arda was
This is
probably
a-
favored, just because you're not going to be contested.
오늘도
Yeah, nobody plays Bo in the
Yeah.
except
And this is the
Simon.
exact kind of situation I was expecting for 11. Like, even though it's not 100 armor, you want to be fighting early.
yeah, right. And I think his food is coming along fairly well
Yeah.
too. He'll have 2 sets of ramen that'll really put him ahead in the early game, if he manages to make it anyway.
He's just
I
running
see that
from
he
fights
has
right now,
made
which
the
is fair.
tuxedo. Not the tuxedo, the moonlight one. I don't remember.
It is
Oh,
tuxedo.
yeah.
I stopped building
armor's
tuxedo on 11
so
because a
low.
lot of 11's success is based on her early game.
Yeah, tuxedo is a little tough. It's a tough call. I think it really pays off in the late game, which is a fair judgment to make with this lobby. But
The hard
borderline
parts.
getting like triple hit though.
I
There's so
mean,
much
personally,
fighting.
with like my personal game plan with 11 is
Mhm.
to fight early and mid game to get SS really early, so I can start superhuman stacking. And
작전 개시.
the butler suit actually helps you with that game plan a lot faster.
점입 성공했습니다.
Yeah, I do think so because I don't like the tuxedo because the armor is so low and 11 has already naturally low armor, which really composites the issue. Cyan not having any armor. I
There's
mean,
a couple
I
characters
have
that
no food.
can get away with what's it called?
Oh.
Playdead's still up, mind you.
I think Cyan actually chose to fight. Oh, it's for the rear range.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cyan is in a dangerous position now.
It's very difficult to reload too.
Alright.
Oh, Mithril.
Mithril's good for his arm, but he's still missing his armor.
Yeah, body armor
Well,
and
I
helmet.
see that Sia and Gimmick has not
점입
healed.
성공했습니다.
So Sia is doing the hospital shuffle.
Just hope nobody's at a hospital at that time.
the hospital shuffle. A lot of people will do it early game, so
점입
It's-
성공했습니다.
people are all making fun. Oh wow. Okay, so people likes to make fun of the hospital shuffle because they're like, oh, that's such like an herb thing to do. But then you see like the dragons run out of healing by the first round and just shuffles in the hospital for like half a round.
You have to do it sometimes.
Yeah, and then they win, which is the funniest part. But they come back from that because they had so much match and they just win off of that.
I mean, part of the reason why it ends up working better in Dragon than in lower level lobbies, because in lower level lobbies, a lot of players seem to think that it's a good idea to camp hospital, right?
Which
Whereas-
is a good idea. You kill a lot of people.
The thing is that the only people you kill at hospital are people who are behind, which means that
Right,
you're not going to
that's
be
true.
taking their armor to put yourself ahead. All you're doing is getting the experience from half of their level,
Yeah.
which early game is not much. So,
Right.
amusingly
I
enough, I
that.
see this all the time when I like play in lower level lobbies. Is like somebody gets like a million kills early, right? Because they like camped it, but it's like I pull ahead because you really didn't get that much value off of that kill, those kills.
Yeah. Well, I will argue that in a high lobby, it's a little important because sometimes you end up like you have rank one running around with no food, and they come to the hospital and then you force them out and then they die, and
Yeah.
suddenly your chance of winning like multiplies by like 5 times or something.
But that's when you're like playing against someone you know is going to be a problem.
Right. So I do argue that there is a point in camping hospital, but you can't rely on it at all. So Simon and I think GameSun had similar armors, but I think Simon may be a little bit more ahead in the setups.
Mine's actually pretty much on his way to finishing
Simon
helmet.
has come back after I
Yeah.
think a hospital shuffle.
Yeah, that is a hospital shuffle.
The scrub Donnie. I think YB1's armor is a little problematic. Jackie has came back in armor.
That's a lot of food coming up for 11.
Flo, yeah, that's a lot of food coming up, but not. at the
11
moment.
needs to clear space though. I would
Right.
eat this hot ramen for sure.
I would too. If I don't get the first pair, there's no point in keeping it. Games, I think it's trying to make the drop. I think GameSun as well, but there's
There's
no
so many
gemstone
gemstones
left
picked
in the
up.
game.
Yeah. Like, you can very tell that he's very clearly struggling here.
Yeah.
But he's
and
actually going to get a
Simon,
legendary
too.
Rider's deck. I mean, Ghost
He
Rider's
got,
deck.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh, he
Yeah.
already got the Tree of Life. This is another, I think this is a game for Simon.
Yeah.
Unless GameSign like does some really impressive comeback strategy here.
I think 11 has the potential to pull ahead in this situation.
Yeah. It depends. It's harder in a really high average
Yeah.
lobby because right now he can't contest anybody, and while he can stay alive, it's gonna be the longer he delays that. See, he only has 2 pieces right now, and a lot of people are already full build. So like, if I know that he can. Oh,
That helps a lot.
how did he get that? I didn't think there was any
Here
left.
comes a donation.
But yeah, so
Didn't get anything off the donation. That's unfortunate.
what is 0 and 6? Oh.
Yeah,
that's
because
actually
too
a
low
low.
life. You actually need to be high life on 11 or your donations stop working.
Flow is not looking too hot here. A shame. I hate that inventory. Like somebody's gonna get super ahead with it too.
Yeah.
We'll just see who is falling. So did Simon manage to make his head?
He did.
He did. So he gave up on his arm, which is a very fair.
I mean, you're going to get
I would
a
do that
legendary body armor, which
Right.
no one's going to. You're always going to get your skill off of it.
too.
Artifact
And then
analysis.
and honestly, Sheath is fine.
Oh!
Oh, he
Oh!
didn't die though.
Still
Okay, so then
alive! Nope! Not anymore.
Sain.
Sain!
Sain with the gun.
That's exactly what Sain needs.
Sain took the armor.
You take the armor first, for sure.
Well, oh yeah, he didn't have an armor piece, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like wondering about that. How is Gimme Nick doing? I see that his HP has
Uh-oh.
not been.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, got
Another
Tree of
Tree of
Life.
Life. That's gonna be a dead
Does he know
body.
that the corpse is here? Oh, he found
I
it.
think.
Yeah, he found it. Yeah.
It's a gun user. I don't think Sain built silencer. That is going to be a problem for him.
That was a bear, wasn't it?
Yep, and I think he got some.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you
I
can't.
don't think Simon.
This is
yeah.
Simon's game for sure.
Not particular. I don't think it's gonna be Simon's game, but he definitely is leading right now. It's hard to see. He has-
This is like one of those things where it's like why is Alex is so good in higher level lobbies is because like Alex is actually like decently keeping up here, and because of it, they will always be a threat to Simon.
Did you guys notice that there's only one person dead at night? Even though we were mentioning some players not doing too well, Karen's is leading in mastery. Sain, not Sain, sorry.
This is
GameSign
still first night, by the way.
is even for armor.
People just
it's
don't
a
die
hard call.
as easily.
Simon has to stay ahead, and that is a problem. That is not. It's not an easy lobby where you can just be like, oh, this person's so ahead, he's gonna win. He has a good chance, but I don't think it's that. How's Sia doing? Very good.
Yeah, Sia's doing well. If
Mhm.
Sia gets
Alex is doing
coffee,
well.
they really start pulling ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's going to be in a really good spot.
I don't know how many tunas. So Zero is doing very well as well. Actually, his food, his food. Yeah. Why is he not eating his? Okay, yeah.
He's abusing green
Doing
cell.
Really good. Oh, okay.
Because
yeah,
like
that makes
in lobbies where, like this, and I was actually talking to Xerings about this, is that you typically want to abuse green cell in order to get that value to pull ahead. Because it's like you either do that or you lose anyway.
sense. That's true.
Yeah, so it's like
risk.
you have to take that risk that you're just going to get double hits and killed out of the game in order to get ahead.
I've been
And-
actually doing that a lot, where I'd like drop super low in a contest just so I could get more hits in, so I could get the mastery.
Typically, I wouldn't go for it when I'm placing against 2 Alexes. Because, like, Alex will just de-throw you if he realizes that you're
Yeah.
trying to get low for green cell.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere into Alex's deep throw range for sure. So he did. So Xerox is actually A+. What is Simon's mastery right now?
B+.
B+.
But, like-
Not Miro has died.
Oh, I didn't even notice to who. To Xerings. Okay.
Xerox. I would take the armor, but I see he didn't. I think that armor is very valuable in this lobby.
I
with
don't think he was able to
Clarence and
identify that.
Simon.
Yeah. I don't think he was able to identify that.
Why not? He got hit by Simon for like 50.
60.
Anyway, I do think that counter armor is almost a key strategy in this game. I think game sign is actually Blade, which means a lot of people don't have his counter armor.
Interesting. 110.
So the thing is with Alex, if you have a Blade stab weapon in the early game, it defaults to Blade, and it fucked me up a few times already. I see that Karen continues to have fried chicken, KFC.
I mean, this is just how Karen's plays. This is very classic Karen's.
어쩔 수 없는
Yeah, but I think somebody else got the last chicken, because I saw that Kim and Nick had a fried chicken. Game sign's out of healing.
Game sign can get healing though, so.
Oh, Sign's dying here. Sign with the
Oh,
1
still has play dead.
His play dead is now gone
Yeah.
though.
1 HP with play
picked
dead
up-
still up is really nice.
Yeah, Sign I think did pick up the suit.
그럼
Right.
사양하지 않고
Just in case Xerxes is trap still, you know?
1v1 with the EOD suit just to... No, I think she mentioned before that she likes to make it. Just
She does like to make it.
Yeah, Sain has died though. To who?
Yeah.
The area.
잠입 성공.
Sain.
Yeah, you
does
take the
not-
soju there.
Yeah, the soju, fair point.
죽어줘.
You could have taken the helmet.
잠입.
He, I would have taken... I don't know. I think I would have taken a helmet though. But, so
If you're
Sia
trying to like
actually-
move quickly, I can easily see you making the mistake though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's very
Sia
difficult to.
goes
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Oh,
Yeah, because I
Simon.
saw that Simon was there.
Oh man.
Grab the soy
That is a tough.
sauce.
That is a tough ping pong.
Yeah, and that soy sauce there will really help Simon get ahead.
For sure. So Karen's with 2 fried chicken now at S.
끝내고
He
Kill
does
the
not
dog.
have a body armor though. I wonder if there was a noise in hotel or if he'll pick it up. Because at this point in time, I think he has given up on his body armor and he's just gonna be like, I'm going to
Crimson
make,
Flower.
I'm going to pick one up,
사양
which is a fair assumption, which is fair. And you see that oil is very spread out in this game. Everybody takes oil stuff.
잠입 성공했습니다.
I mean, typically in higher level lobbies, you see more people making oil. I remember I actually started doing that when I came across top T1's body, right? And there were 6 heated oils on there, and I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
마치겠습니다.
You can really come back from a game with oil in the late game. Especially since I don't even want to keep heated whetstone in the late game anymore. It's like so unreliable.
Heated whetstone is only really good if like you're able to hold cemetery and you start making fishing rods.
Right. I don't think it's that helpful. I think oil is so much more helpful in late game.
And
So,
it's like
빨리 끝내고
it's actually really funny. People were like laughing about the French fries change, but it actually seriously nerfs heated oil.
Yeah, it does. Because there's a lot of time where you end up with 3 of the chicken or something, and
그럼
that's when it really matters. So across the board, every player is strong,
빨리
so
작전 개시.
they can fight Simon, but the healing difference is really significant here.
이런 모습은 보여주기
So I do think that it's gonna be hard. It's a hard call. Oh, look at that!
What did you
He's
see?
fishing.
I missed it.
He's fishing.
Oh, he was fishing? Okay.
잠입
He's fishing now.
성공.
Yeah.
I didn't
I don't
notice.
think he fished up anything useful though.
Oh,
So
Y1 died.
Gamesan is in a
YB1.
problem situation.
YB1 died
Karen-
with a tuna. Karen's is
With
going to
a
be here for a
tuna.
while.
Ooh,
Yeah. We're going to see Karen's fighting for this really hard.
I don't know why, but I don't. Do you guys not? So like, I didn't notice any of the Alex do this, but in the situation where you hear a body in the early game that you don't want to contest for, you could just go in with stealth and
잠입
look for the
성공했습니다.
body that way, and actually
작전
it
개시.
comes up fairly often.
이상 없음.
Especially in higher level
Oh.
lobbies where like people are contesting the corpse, you're usually not
Mhm.
found.
Yeah, like you rarely get found in stealth anyway. And sometimes, like in the early game, if one of the Alexes has went there with stealth and looked for the body, it's very possible that Simon is putting a much worse situation than he is right now.
I'm so upset that stealth got nerfed because of Roach Alex.
잠입 성공했습니다. 빨리 끝내고
No, stealth got nerfed
작전 개시.
because rank 1 and rank 3 simultaneously started playing Alex.
Oh, was that it?
잠입
Yeah.
성공했습니다.
And his first place rate went through the roof, and he had no change made to him. Gimme Nick was killed
Game
by
Sign
Game
killed.
Sign, but only got the armor.
Ooh.
And so.
Now he has a free D throw.
But I think he is.
It's okay. He'll
not
just find
doing well.
Xerix and just D throw him on site.
That's what I do.
Did he just D throw the dog?
I think he did just do the dog. I was about to mention is like he shouldn't do that because he'll end up running into like friggin' an animal and then it proceeds to happen right in front of him.
He did throw the dog.
Game time. He's only.
It's a little embarrassing.
I feel a little bad. So nobody has the food to kind of contest Simon. So I do think that at this point in the game, the overall has been set. I do not think that they are able to come back from this for sure. So you saw that the main thing that actually won him the game was the sweet potato from the very first round of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why you want to contest bodies so hard in the early game.
We were actually saying this earlier, that like whoever gets this body is likely to win. And like it's still there.
I want to mention that we mentioned earlier that the better choice from the body is to take the body armor because I didn't have one, right? And then the game sign goes down to Simon. But actually, I was thinking that
Grab free stamina.
I would have probably taken a sweet potato first anyway, even if I don't have a body armor, because chances are whoever comes to contest the body won't need the body armor, but they will need the sweet potato. So that is just kind of a judgment call that depends up to the player themselves, and in this case it paid out for Simon instead, but...
This was a really fast defect.
Yeah. No, he made it fairly early, didn't he?
Even still, like...
Wow. You don't really expect the second weapon to defect, so everybody's kind of sitting around now, as you would expect from a game like this. Simon
Xerix is able... I mean, Xerix needs to be able to identify that he can rest here. Oh, they're fighting! They're fighting!
I don't think Simon... Yeah, this is a constant. This is... I think Simon... I think Karen has the tendency to just contest till he dies.
Yeah.
So,
Karen's is a very aggressive player.
Karen's, yeah. So Karen's is the type of player where if you see him in 3 area, you just leave. Because you really don't want to stay there until he finishes all his healing. Because
he's going to eat all of his food and then he's going to die to you, and you're just like, why, Karen?
Yeah, he's going to die to you with no food whatsoever. And then you're going to be like, okay. It's really important to kind of remember the player's tendency through the game between contesting and running. And it gives you really good information on how they'll react in the 3 areas. Okay, so this is definitely another Simon game.
Yeah, for sure.
And
okay.
so far, the 2 strong player is Simon and Karen's, I believe. But
me too, Karen's. Me too.
Who won the second? Who was second in the first game?
I can double check for you.
I think it was Zera. No, it was.
No, it was Gimme a Nick. Karen's was 3rd.
Gimme a Nick. So Karen's and Simon are definitely leading in the points right now because Gimme a Nick died a little early. Yeah. So. I think at the moment, I don't know how much point he's leading by, but Simon is definitely leading by a fair bit.
I mean, like, I think the biggest thing that's happening here is the fact that Simon is the only bow player.
Simon is the only bow player, and nobody runs factory start other than him. Like, in a regular game, you really see often random players starting in factory.
Or even just like going to factory early. Like Simon has just been getting really good lobbies for what he wants to do.
Yeah, he so this is kind of shows you kind of what happens if you have really smooth early game.
I mean, did we say that earlier where it was like whoever gets uncontested the most in a high level lobby tends to do the best?
You know, in general, if I was like playing, I would almost, because Simon likes to use no digging early game. Like, you can really tell where he starts. So, I mean,
I know you tend to identify who's going to be the threats, and you contest them.
Right, after the first game, I think, in general, you tend to pick out that, you know, you have one bow in this lobby, and they always run the factory route, and the factory route's hella strong if they don't get interrupted. And I would, like, I mean, it's kind of a shitty thing to do, if you
We
think
all
about
saw
it,
Game Son.
but
Look at the chat.
what? Oh, game, yeah.
We all saw it happened.
We were watching you. Come on.
Sorry, Game Son. Blame me.
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
So bad because we were just watching him and he just de-throws the bird, de-throws the dog, and we're just like, oh. So same. I feel that too. Oh, I can't see the chat in the game.
We can't see it, but like I'm still gonna throw a warning at him.
Okay. So in the second game, I almost feel like somebody should have just straight up went to factory to start. It's not a bad start for a lot of masteries. You can start there for blunt. You can start there for armor, actually. But anyway,
I remember like several seasons ago. You remember Pollyanna when he would always do crude Sua?
Like it was. I think it was Town Hall start, right?
Yeah, you would actually go to Town Hall to contest Pollyanna just to give him a hard time.
It's okay.
And then I remember when Hyun Woo got buffed, and I was like, sweet, I don't have to contest him anymore because I just pull ahead anyway.
And there was the same with Mommy, who always played Chapel.
Yeah.
You would literally go to interrupt him out of Chapel just so he wouldn't get it. But this is the type of thing where it's not something you really pick up in a game or two. It's something
like
you kind of pick
lot.
up. Right. And I think it's tough because it's one of those things where it's like, do you want to really like and so like to do that, right? Like where you interrupt them at the first spot, one is you have to know how to run a route out of that spot, and two is you take the risk that they don't leave, which I don't think is tend to happen with Simon specifically. But
yeah, Simon does not like Ballista.
Yeah, he wouldn't stay there and contest. But if they don't leave, you are running a risk yourself, especially if you're not playing a character you're like super familiar with. So there's a lot that goes into whether you want to interrupt them at the first step. We'll see if it happens in this game, because so far I think everybody can tell. Like Town Hall Factory is one of the most noticeable route out of both, because you like clearly see what they're doing, like literally like one area into the game. So we'll see if somebody interrupt him this game.
Alright, with that, we'll get on to our final round. I believe our final round.
I do not believe streams.
I'm just going to get this started.
I think Simon is fair in that decision, because I know that Cairns is a really big archery range starter.
Simon does not stream.
Talking. But yeah, so... yeah, we'll see. I think Simon will win this tournament if he doesn't just die like as soon as the game starts, and very rarely does that happen with Simon.
Well, Simon also has like a fairly strong lobby to do what he wants.
Right.
Oh, somebody give me a Nick went straight to factory.
Went straight to Yep. You know, we were all asking if somebody was gonna do it, and somebody did it. And actually, Simon.
Oh, YB1. Okay, YB1 was a little slow there.
Simon, I'm not saying he got lucky, but Karis did not actually start in archery range, which means Simon does get archery range. And we'll see if he's as successful this game. So, Stab is a valid factory route. I think he picked Shoichi fully knowing that specific part of it.
Yeah, the Shoichi pick looks very much like a counter pick. Which is something you can only see in tournaments. You don't see that too often.
So,
아시겠습니까?
we're gonna see if yeah, I don't know how to call that thing either. So we'll see if it pays off, because Karen's is moving fast and furious in that route of his. He's made the same route every single game. I'm not a big fan of that.
Dying, please.
So what is this? Is this Stormbolt?
This is Stormbolt.
Right?
Dying! I'm gonna flip a table right now.
진짜 투자는
Hey, if it pays off, it pays off. So yeah, going the full food route and out of hospital. Okay, so is
This is looking like Hwacha.
Hwacha, yeah, that's Hwacha. So Game-san is in a rush route with Chapel, where he left with a single piece and he just straight up rushed out the Crusaders. Which is it's a very good idea in a high lobby, because in general, if people aren't as smooth in the early game, they can't fight you like this.
So a lot of people.
General,
Sorry. A lot of people were asking me about this in my recent video where I played Statue of Soteria, and like YB1 is actually doing this properly, where you have to go for the what's it called? The anatomy model first round.
Gimme Nick is fighting very aggressively here.
Yeah, I saw that coming. That was probably a crit.
That was probably a crit.
No, it was not, but still. It was just like, YB1 did not eat properly there.
Yeah, I noticed that. He didn't eat.
YB1, they would have been totally fine.
So the thing is, I don't know why. Okay, I understand the reason that you would want to go for the armor before your food in the first round, but I still feel like Nai Oriental Concoction is not something you just leave on the ground. And I see he got I think he got interrupted actually.
Oh, this was alcohol. I thought this was healing potion, but even still,
no.
was not eating properly.
Who got the Oriental Concoction? Somebody had to pick it up. It's not him. Somebody else picked it up. Nobody picked it up? Okay, well, somebody's
going to go and be like, I need to get to the hospital because I need food, and there's just going to be 9 times Oriental Concoction. They're like...
This is the thing, like, it's not my favorite thing to do, to leave food like that on the thing. Like, I'd rather leave an armband, you know? Like, I'll go get the armband again, but the Nai Oriental Concoction, everybody's going to be taking that.
We'll see who grabs it later.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Saing actually, I think, had a much smoother route this game comparatively. Simon's route is not as like fierce this game, but he is keeping up fairly well.
I honestly don't understand why. Gimme a Nick should really just go back to hospital right now.
Yeah, I think you should go back to the hospital.
Like, you already got your windbreaker. Go back to hospital, grab your food, you're all set.
Yeah, I think this is a bad option,
misplay.
but he is fairly strong, so he could afford it for now. Let's see how it goes for the rest of the players.
So there it is.
Not deny concoction, so that put him back in the game.
Yeah.
So Terrence with the same route actually, he made his OPS helmet.
Yeah, so this misplay is huge because what this ended up doing was he ended up creating a really powerful opponent by leaving the food there.
Terrence is actually making the battle. I see that people has finally taken note that Simon is a problem and that battle suit is important.
Yeah.
We'll see how he goes. So this actually the winner of the tournament is like fairly constant now, but we will see if it just depends on how badly Simon does. If Simon does get like second or third, it doesn't matter because I think he'll win anyways.
Yeah, he'll win as long as he places top 3.
Right. I don't even think he needs top 3. He might be able to win with top 5, depending on how he does. But so everyone got taken out early, very unfortunate. Ooh, that's dangerous.
Oh no! Here comes the hospital shuffle.
The hospital shuffle. People make fun of the herbs to do it, but little do they know, the dragons aren't even worse.
It's the top tier strategy.
Oh, Gimenik actually died.
Oh.
So
I mean, I'm gonna say this right now, that was his fault.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Wow, that's a lot of food.
Wow, GameSun is looking
very stacked.
This game. So, Simon, actually one thing is a lot of people started in hospital. So,
this is not where you want to be.
Oh my gosh.
Back to the hospital.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he got this girl. Oh, he's gonna go. Wait, so, oh my gosh. Simon!
This is not top 5.
Simon!
You're so close, Simon!
He got blocked out of the both area for food here.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a Nick guide.
Dying getting it. Dying denying it. Denying.
Simon, that's unfortunate.
Simon was so set to winning all this.
He got really unlucky. He got found in multiple areas, and yeah, I don't know what I would have done there. I think I would have went for Doc. Not gonna lie, I would have went for Doc and just went for this turtle shell. But that's that. I mean, sometimes that happens in games.
That's just how it goes.
GameStar had gotten the bear and Karen's had gotten the gorilla, so we saw that that's a constant. Karen's always goes for the gorilla if he's not like absolutely like pulverizing the lobby. And
I mean, didn't we say that earlier that like mid game Dox is very safe?
Anyway,
보여주기 싫었는데 어쩔 수 없네.
so the thing is, Bo is a fairly difficult mastery if you get blocked. So
I would like to mention this comment. So someone said that Simon lost because he was factory blocked.
Yeah, I saw that.
Simon is actually a really strong player out of
yeah, I
out
don't
of
think
archery
you
range.
could say that
And
like
the fact that he got blocked from there, he took only one hit and went straight to archery range, and he had a smooth start. Like that's the thing.
The thing is, Bow is not a mastery where it's really consistent throughout. Bow, you only have those few spots, and archery range start is a difficult start for Bow in my opinion, because the strongest variation of archery range comes with Schrodinger's box and dot leg, but you can't do that kind of armor with the archery range bow. But Simon did do very well in the first two games, so I think his score will be carried unless one of the other players just does phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
if a player slaughters this, like Karen's actually can steal first place here.
I think Karen's might steal the first place if he does really well this game. We will see. I don't know for sure, actually.
I mean, Karen's has the potential to get screwed over if his weapon breaks like immediately, which can happen.
Because look at his armor and look at his food. I don't think he cares. This is. Now that I'm really looking at Karen's stuff, he is very ahead.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like technically it can happen. I think the only way that he doesn't pull first place here is if his weapon breaks.
Okay, so to be fair though, I will look at GameSun's food too. I will address that we say that every game. We say this, but we also do mention before. We mentioned before that in a lobby like this, in general, by like night, if a lot of people survives until like midway to the night, you end up with a lot of players who just aren't equal in strength, and the difference is healing. So yeah, so I do think that there are still competitions to be had in this game. It's not already set in stone, but right now the two most ahead of player is definitely Karen's and GameSun. I think Syrian is doing fairly okay. So yeah, GameSun.
Nah, he's not gonna be able to keep that.
No, there's no way. So Syrian staying in by being Rosalia. Rosalia is it's just a strong pick, period.
Oh!
GameSun's food is
wow. Sniped with two. Oh no! So, yeah, there's so much food on that corpse.
I know, right? GameSun coming in, very, very reasonable sign.
With the Stormbolt and GameSun coming in to take the rest of the food.
Right. So here's the thing.
Oh, it took the blade boots.
I would like to mention that as far as a body goes, you can't just pick what you need the most. Sometimes what you need to do is you need to pick the things that your opponent will need the most too.
I don't know if
we said that Oriental Concoction was kind of a mistake. It wasn't because that Gimme Nick picked a bad item. It's the fact that Oriental Concoction will save somebody else. And like you see, Xerax is actually still in the game, and he was having a lot of struggling early game. And I think there was another body like that too, right? The second game was Cyan and the sweet potato. Same thing. You have to consider the value of the items you're leaving on the body that somebody else will take. Like, nobody is gonna bother with the tuxedo, but they will take the sweet potato. So this is the kind of thing that you kind of have to pay attention to.
Yeah,
so
Sia did get quad hit.
Crazy strong, but his weapon is defective. Yeah. I think
that's a holy blood.
It's a holy blood, but I don't know if you want to make.
You can't even make the Ainsleaf. This is actually very difficult.
Yeah, I know. Is this the last week restricted? I think he's trying to get the. He's trying to get the cemetery, the frick. name is hard. Longsword.
Yeah.
I would make. I hate Dansley, by the way.
I hate Dansley too, but like the games where I'm forced to make it, I just do so well in, and I'm like, okay.
No, the last I was forced to make Dansley when I was against the rank 1, and I regretted every second of that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't
Like,
against rank 1.
the damage just multiplied by like 5, and I'm just like, ugh. I had to make it because he blocked me out of every single area with gunpowder, because he knew I had.
I mean,
it,
that's
and
what
I
he
was so
does.
pissed.
I actually started doing that against Ipkale the other day.
Can we check out Karen's too? By the way. Oh yeah, so Jackie has a lot of food. Karen's has a lot. Actually, Karen's is running out of food, but he is looking to make his weapon. I don't think anybody took Masamune, so I think you'll find it here.
Did his weapon break?
He has. So I think it did.
Yeah.
But
This
also
is what I was
found more
saying. Like the
Masa,
weapon break would actually put him like a little bit behind.
I think he just found Masamune and
Yeah.
figured it was easier because of his inventory. But Game Sign is definitely leading in healing and mastery. Karen's is closely behind in mastery and food, in mastery, but not enough food. I think he will be getting a lot of food though.
You know how we were saying how like important it is to contest body? If Cyan did not get contested at Fire Station, he would have been fine. This is no small deal.
What do you mean?
Cyan got contested at Fire Station where there was a corpse with some food on it. Yeah, he would have been able to grab a soy sauce, he would have been able to grab some curry, and he would have been fine. But because GameStop went in and contested immediately, he was able to avoid having a strong opponent right from the start.
In general, in a high lobby game, if there's a noise and then somebody dies, you almost fully expect that like 2 people shows up. If only 1 person shows, if nobody shows up, you're actually surprised. You're like, huh.
Oh, I guess the lobby doesn't want to win.
Usually, when that happens, that gives you the cue that nobody's doing well, which is very important too. But yeah, so you almost always have people. Somebody who will at least come and try to get the body. They may not get it, but they'll show up just to give you a hard time. Okay, so Xerax has finished his armor a little late, but I think fine. Cyan is definitely
On paper
ran
balls.
out of weapon. Storm, he has thrown like all the paper balls. Storm boats though, and his armor is like nice. His mastery is high, so that's the one thing. Xerax is going for the tuna, interestingly. Oh, Cyan's not doing too well. Cairns, can you get the? Ooh, this is scary.
Yeah, Slubs is not a place you want to be in without food.
Yeah, but this is the only. It's a very good place for oil. Like I think Fire Station may not be open.
I mean, sometimes you just don't have a choice.
Is the Fire Station open right now? I don't think so.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But it's still very scary.
This is actually a really bad situation for Kane because there's not only one area for oil.
And not only that, but it's like people might come here to try to look for lighters.
Come to slums, right?
Yeah.
So we are going
Slums
to
is
see.
a hot spot.
GameStop didn't do very well in the first 2 games, so if he wins this game, I think he'll. Oh. Oh. Jackie with the prediction, I think. He predicted that, right?
Yeah, he predicted that because he didn't have yeah. Words are hard.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Grabbing the divine dual swords.
He took the divine dual sword, and he has a lot of healing, so Miro's doing much better this game too. So
I think grabbing the divine dual swords was a mistake, honestly. I would have grabbed either the oil, I mean not the oil, the soy sauce or the bird meat.
I think he like didn't. It was unlucky because he was in Fire Station for a very long time, but I think he just didn't find oil.
Yeah.
Which happens. I think Cyan was in there for a while, so he may have taken it. I don't know for sure, but
this is actually also a very lucky kill in the sense that he didn't make noise, so nobody knows that Karen's died here.
Right.
No one's contesting it.
Has just a fried chicken, right?
Yeah, because you would know for a fact. No, his body has a soy sauce, which is no small deal.
That's true.
Yeah. So like if
I see he found the potato too.
Yeah, so he can use the soy sauce right away.
So you got the boots.
Did he just grab another armor piece? Grab the soy sauce. Yeah, he did.
Though.
You need the soy sauce, dude.
Hard to say. So Gameson did make Arcane Blade though, so that's
no,
one thing.
The scary part about leaving soy sauce up, right, is that we already know Kiara's ahead, and Kiara grabs the soy sauce, right? They can.
Yeah, he's.
They're controlling animals right now,
And the thing is, you see, there's only factory open. That would be an easy gorilla.
Well, this is not actually a bad contest.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Cyan.
Yeah, Cyan can't contest that. Gorilla's up right now, by the way.
Actually win against this game, son. So Miro's doing very well in the food department, but I think his armor is too. His mastery is too low. A for the second day is.
Yeah, A is very low.
Yeah, he's led by 2 mastery tiers by GameSon. And
did they change
GameSon
Jackie's humming? They changed it when in her Korean voice. Her Korean voice actor is completely different.
Yeah, I like the old one better. So here's the thing.
I actually like her
Miro
new voice actor.
I think Miro took into account the fact that soy sauce will not be used thanks to, you know, thanks to GameSon, so he chose not to take it, which I think is a fair. It's a valid decision to make, but not a winning decision. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a second place decision, is what it is.
It's a second place decision. I think Miro decided to. I don't think it's roaching, by the way. We're not talking about like roaching, but I definitely think that
that is a fast defect. This thing was crafted very recently.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I think now he's back for his B max.
There it is.
So I think this game. I think a lot of players this game. I would have too, by the way. This is not just a thing that the players, but I think everybody kind of underestimated just how much oil everybody will be using.
Yeah.
So oil ended up actually being really hard to find this game, and I think that's what actually killed Cairns. Was that he fought with the expectation that he'll find at least 1 oil, and the result was he found none of the oil. That's tough, and that's really difficult, you know.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah. Like no, you never have a game where you're just like, oh, I found 1 oil, I'll never find another one ever again. You know. Usually,
especially because that's like Karen's playstyle.
Xerax actually got screwed over by Cyan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cyan took all the battery, and Xerax has not managed to make his weapon the entire game. And as the only stab who lasted until now. Yeah, I think this game is gonna go to GameSon for sure.
Yeah. Grabbing the kill.
Oh, killed How many animal has GameSon got in this game? I think a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I can't check.
Yeah, I feel like every time I see him, he was taking an animal.
Miro died.
Miro has died. He was
died to GameSon. So that's the game.
That was that. This is definitely game. Congratulations to Cyan for getting second.
Actually, I forgot to mention. You know how we were saying that Cairns had the potential to steal it?
Mm-hmm.
He might not be able to steal first place now.
No, if he got 4th this game, it's very questionable. Though, to be fair, he may. Did he get any kills this game?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. We'll see. It'll be close either way because Simon, I think, died without any point this game, while Cairns may have gotten maybe 3 or 4 points at best.
Yeah.
I don't know if the difference is enough.
Feels bad.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Feels really bad. You can't get the CD.
Everyone has good games. Everyone. I think he was trying to make Fuma, right? Oh well, this is the final.
No, because it's just very sad.
Bro is definitely one of those masteries where weapon is a problem.
Isn't this like classic Cyan though?
What?
Yeah. Oh, this is final area, I believe. Alright, well.
Yeah.
Good game. GameSon coming out looking like a monster. This game.
Actually, I'm sure people will want to see the player stats.
Yeah, I want to see him. I'm curious. GG, everyone.
3,000.
Alright, can we go down to Karen?
Karen's has 0 player kills, 1,700 damage. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah, I think that only gives him 2 points, right? 2 or 3.
It gets him very little points. And with Malagrande taking 2 first place.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put the prediction now that Malagrande won.
I think Malagrande won this one. Is there any other player who did really well all 3 games?
Not
No,
really.
right?
No, Malagrande was the
I
most
think
consistent.
Zera got in top 5 every game.
I am like going to
but
all
it
the
was
wrong
like
sources.
4th. I don't remember the stats from the first 2 games, but I'm pretty sure Simon picked up a few. Simon didn't pick up any kills in the first game, I think, but he picked up a lot of kills in the second game. So actually, we may have to take the kill points into account as well. Yeah, Zera, Karen's, and Simon may have been the first 3. The problem with GameSun was he did really bad every game. In the first 2 games. I mean,
Yeah.
GameSun did really bad in the first game.
Let me
And
see if I can find the Google Doc.
in the second two middle games.
People really liking the paper balls.
Paper ball. Paper ball. Yeah, so I don't think there was necessarily so much dying with food.
Okay, so we have the points already. Malagrande barely winning, by the way.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Wait, can we see the point totals? I don't know where it is.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you it right now. So Malagrande is first with 20 points. Karen's is second with 19 points.
Yeah.
Literally off by 1 point. GameSun, third with 17 points.
Yeah.
Gimme a Nick and Xerinx tying for fourth with 13 points. Signing 6 with 11. And I'm just going to avoid the other ones in case it embarrasses them.
Happens. So the first 3 being games. So GameSun's last game really puts him ahead. Zera did really well, but he couldn't.
Oh, they're not done yet? Okay, they said points are not done yet.
Oh. I blame Mel.
I don't know, it looks done to me. Oh, they're still inputting game 3. Okay.
Wait, they're putting in game 3?
It looks like it's put in though. Like there's already people that have points for game 3.
Either way, I think the top 3 may not change though. But well, we may see if it's that close, we may be seeing some differentials that may make a difference. Oh, this is tight.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? Because like Malagrande is still first, even though that none of his statistics were put in for game 3.
Well, he didn't get anything in the last game, so I assume they put it late. TBH. Which is, I mean...
Because Karen's and GameSun already have all of their points recorded, and they still haven't beaten Karen. Not Karen, Malagrande. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Malagrande is still first.
We'll see. I don't think it... Karen's don't... I didn't want to know that Karen's has the most damage in this... set, I think. He really shines in the aggression levels.
Karen's was super close to stealing this from Malagrande though.
Yeah. Karen's is like, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, let me see. Damage points by ranking. Oh, it's damage down by ranking. Oh. Funny enough, yeah. Animal kills damage. Yeah, GameSun doing 2,000 animal damage. I figured. Okay, yeah. I don't think it changed that much. First place is still Malagrande at 20. Karen's at second was 19, and GameSun at third was 17. And then actually Xerinx breaking the tie by getting 15 points instead, and they're at fourth. And Gimme Nick is fifth at 13 points, and so on and so forth.
Titan got the most points in the last game, giving him that 6th place finish.
Right. Actually, Melee getting 11 points in the second game.
Yeah, it was a very big deal.
Very impressive. I think that was the main difference, was that he actually got the maximum points possible in the second game.
That was actually very close finals.
Yeah, that was a very close finals.
Simon was really close to just dominating finals too. He got very unlucky in the third game, but the reality is that, bad luck happens to everyone.
Yeah, that happens to everybody, and I mean, it's one of those things where like it's a very high risk, high reward kind of thing. Viewers giving points. Cyan's gonna get like 60 points from the viewers for the memes. But actually, in the first game, the highest point was the second place. Give me a Nick. So placement. Let me see. Yeah. Because of kills.
Oh yeah.
Simon did not get any kill in the first game. And that actually came out to be a thing where Simon only got 1 kill in the first game. That's why I mentioned why kill points was going to be really important. Karen's was actually really unfortunate. Karen's got 2 kills in the first game, 2 kills in the second game, and yeah. So it really comes down to consistency between the 3 games. Yeah.
That was exciting.
This been very close. It's very fun though. So like you really can tell that like winning a game or getting really good in one game doesn't put you nearly as ahead as you would expect in the finals compared to the previous rounds.
Yeah, and the previous, I mean, I think the big reason for that was that these were all very high skill players, whereas in the last, the other few brackets, we were like, well, yeah, the Dragon players are going to play the most consistently. Like that wasn't really a question. Anyway, I am really hearing echo from you. It's actually making it hard to speak.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. That's the thing. There was a lot of different things that like you don't really expect in a regular game that happened in the finals. Like no oil whatsoever. Like Tuna's been gone by night every game. I think a lot of people wasted time on that stuff. Like
yeah, a lot of people wasted time. Anyway, congratulations to our top 3.
Congratulations to the top 3. They did super well.
Thank you to the staff of Black Survival Discord for helping organizing this. Thanks Nocti, Doom, and Birdie for helping with casting. See, it took Tuna's every game. I mean, it really messed with people.
Yeah, I think Zera was I definitely saw Zera in the docks and not expecting that.
Tunas are all gone.
Dead bodies was the thing. Everybody taking things from dead body in weird ways, and I was like...
Yeah, we were just like watching people. I was like, you're throwing the game.
Yeah. The thing is, nobody made a wrong choice with what they took.
They just didn't take the best choice.
Yeah. And it ended up actually making a huge difference. But anyway, thank you, Meow, for hosting the tournaments and doing all the clicking while I just stand here and watch. And,
it's hard work, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be giving out the prizes as soon as I can. We'll be figuring that out hopefully soon. There's not a single person streaming in English right now except for me, so I guess we'll just raid this Barbara streamer. In any case, I would like to mention something before I raid this guy. So Black Survival announced a new tournament system. I assume we're going to be able to use it. We might see more tournaments in the future. You can find that in all my social medias. It'll be announced in all the different Discords. You'll see it if we do something about it. With that, I want to thank everyone for watching. We're going to be, as a tradition on my channel, we're going to be raiding another streamer. Make sure they feel lots of love. Make sure to spam them with Meow raids. Any news on the official BS tournament? There's no news. We don't even know how all that works yet. Anyway, and we'll see you guys there. Make sure they feel lots of love from the English-speaking community.